Sorry about the last video. I was having technical problems there. Well, to continue where I was at, actually I will move on to a different thing. Now looking at the desktop home where Sherry Jo Bates was murdered, it says sick of living / unwilling to die. Now if you count the letters in that sentence, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There's 26 letters in sick of living, unwilling to die. Again, 26 pops up. Now, then he writes, cut, clean, if red, clean, blood squirting, dripping, spilling. If you count all those words from cut to spilling, that equals 9. Then she writes all over her new dress. Oh well, it was red anyways. Life draining into uncertain death. She won't die. If you add all those words together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. They come up with 21, and 21 backwards is 12. Then the person wrote, this time someone will find her, just wait till next time, and then the initial RH. Now RH is, I consider that one word, even though it's initials, it's considered one clogged together. So this time is 2, someone is 3, find is 4, her is 5, just wait till next time is 10, and then RH is 11. And again, there's another 11. And if you count first, sick of living, willing to die is 26. No, actually, sorry. Sick of living, willing to die is 6 words. And if you add, and at the very bottom, it's his initials, RH, which is 2 letters. So there's 6 and a 2, which backwards is 26 again. So 26 can be brought up a lot of times, along with 11, 12, 13, and 14. Now I will show you how 11 comes into play here. If you go to online and look up Robert Ivan Nichols' letter, on the address, he writes, on the postcard, he writes Mr., which is 1, and the and symbol is 2, Mrs. is 3, and then he writes his mom's name, Silas, Silas, which is 4, and then Nichols, which is 5, and then he puts down the address 1823, which is another one at 6. It's at 6 characters, or 6 words. Center Street, which makes it 7, 8, and then New Albany, Indiana. And as you know, 8 plus 3, New Albany, Indiana, is 3 words, is 11. So Mr. and Mrs. Silas Nicholas, 1823 Center Street, New Albany, Indiana. That's 11 letters. And I think that's where 11 comes in from all the things I know. Now, on the postcard that he mailed to his parents, if you count all the words, including his name that he writes, and including the and symbol, like dear mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs., if you add all of them up, they add up to 26. Now, if you add all the numbers and letters, the number of letters and the number of numbers, and his mom's address, which is 1823 Center Street. If you add the four numbers, 1823, and then there's 6 in center, and there's 2 in street, or in the abbreviation ST. That's 12. And then right below that is New Albany, Indiana. If you count all the letters, in New Albany, Indiana, you get 12 again. Also, if you notice, on sorry, I got caught up with my thoughts. If you look closely at the card that Robert Ivan Nichols sent to his mom, all the words are spaced apart. Dear, and then there's a big space, mom, big space, and big space, dad, and so on. I, big space, am, space, big space, heading, big space, out. And that's exactly what the Zodiac did in a number of his letters and on a number of his postcards and envelopes. He left big spaces between some of the words. Now, in the letter he sent to his mom and dad, it's dated January 17th, there's a 17 again, 1965. And as you know, 66 and 5 from 65 is 11. And if you count the number of letters and numbers in Jan 17, 1967, there's 9. JAN is 3. 17 is 5. And then there's 4 in 1965. Another 9 pops up. Also, Robert Ivan Nichols' sister, her name was Mary R. Wilson, and he used her as the relative on his fake ID to change his name to Robert Joseph Newton Chandler. And Mary is 4 letters, R is 5, and Wilson is 6, which equals 11. Now, if you go and look up on YouTube, there's a video where they interview his son, Philip, and they show his pay, and his pay is $17.75 an hour. Doesn't say his job, but it says $17.75 an hour. There's the 17 again. There's 17 letters in Robert Ivan Nichols. And the 75 cents, if you add 7 and 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You get 12 again. Kind of curious. He also put down his anticipated annual income as $36,920. 3 and 6 is 9. 9 and 2 and 0 is 11. Wow. It's just, it's all over. It's just there. It's all there. Like, Joseph N. Chandler is 14 letters long. And if you subtract the N for his middle initial, that adds up to 13. Even though that's not his real name, that's the name he took on. And it's funny that he would take on a name that added up to 14 or 13 without the middle initial. Again, there's a 13 and a 14. Also, Robert Ivan Nichols' mom and dad's zip code is 47150. And if you add them all up, 4 plus 7 plus 1 plus 5 plus 0 equals 17. Because 4 and 5, 9, 16, 17. Yep, 17. So there's another 17. Robert Ivan Nichols sent letters to his son and family from 2 different locations. One of them was from Richmond, California, which is, if you look on the map, it's right in the middle. If you draw a 100-mile radius around Richmond, that's where 98 or 99% of all the Zodiac or suspected Zodiac activity happened. When he lived in Richmond, he lived within 100 miles or less of almost all the activities. Another letter was sent from Napa, California, where one of the Zodiac murders happened. Also, the cab driver, Ray Davis, was murdered before 1965 or 1966, when everybody knows, including his family and the police, know that Robert Ivan Nichols was living in California. It is also noted that they know for a fact that Robert Ivan Nichols visited New York, Michigan, South Dakota, and Florida sometime in the 70s and 80s. And in the 1970s is when that Joseph Roy Davis was murdered in Jacksonville, Florida. Around the same time that it is believed that Robert Ivan Nichols had visited Florida. Also, Robert Ivan Nichols grew up in New Albany, Indiana. And every year in New Albany, Indiana, in October, they have a festival called the Harvest. I believe it's called the Harvest Festival. And they have a parade, and the main attraction every year is a giant pumpkin. And on the skeleton letter, the Zodiac drew a giant pumpkin over top of the crotch area, the waist area of the skeleton. And also, that pumpkin, along with the legs, to me, looks like an R. And if you use the body of the skeleton and the head is the dot, and the skeleton, the body part is just a long line. That's an eye. And if you look at his arms make a giant N, a capital N. So it's R-I-N, Robert Ivan Nichols' initials. Now, on every postcard and some of the letters sent by the Zodiac, he always has a big Z. That Z, if you look at the letters of the alphabet, there's 26 letters of the alphabet. What number is the number is 20 is Z? Z is the 26th letter, 26th letter of the alphabet. So it's the last letter, and there's 26 letters in the alphabet. And he always has a big Z on it. Now, one of the letters that is believed to be sent by the Zodiac is the Santa Claus card. In there, it's signed SC for Santa Claus. Santa Claus's real name is Saint Nicholas. Robert Ivan Nichols' last name is Nichols. Nichols comes from the abbreviation or from the word Nicholas. Also, there is a Santa Claus in Indiana. What I mean by that is that there's a village or a town called Santa Claus. They have a Santa Claus post office. You can get a picture taken with the Santa Claus, and they have a giant statue of a Santa Claus. Now, despite what other people say, they say that all the murders of the Zodiac committed fell on a Delia. I don't see that. When I look at the calendar, I see that all of them fell on a Kelly, Kali, or a Lima, Limi. And if you look at the symbol that represents Kelly and Lima, it looks like an A and an N. And I thought to myself, what other letter other than an A would that look like? And with a stretch of the imagination, it would look like an R if they had more of a loop on the top instead of like an A. And of course, Lima looks like a smile with a tongue sticking out. It also looks like an N, a lowercase n. And I think that's why he picked those days. Personally, instead of picking Kelly, I would have picked Gamma, because Gamma looks more like a lowercase r. But he picked Kelly. Kelly is the 4th, 11th, 18th, and the 25th. Lima is the 6th, 13th, 20th, and the 27th. And just about all the Zodiac activity landed in or around those 2 days. Those 2 on the calendar. A Kelly, fall on a Kelly or a Lima. And if you look at Lima, the symbol, it looks a lot like the post. You can probably see it in the postcard from Donna Lass's murder in the trails. Also, Donna Lass with an RN. And as you know, RN is the initials of Robert Nichols. And Robert Ivan Nichols' wife or ex-wife was a nurse or an orderly or worked in that kind of area. I also believe that Donna Lass was murdered by Robert Ivan Nichols, aka the Zodiac. Donna Lass has 9 letters in her name. And Sherry Joe Bates is 12 letters. And I believe he killed Sherry Joe Bates. Now for Joseph Roy Davis. He was murdered on October 2nd. October is the 10th month, and the 2nd is 2. If you add them together, they end up adding up to 12. Joseph Roy Davis is also 14 letters. And 12 if you just count the middle initial and not the full middle name. And as you know, he was murdered in 1974. 7 plus 4 is 11. Another 11. In 1974, if you add all the numbers up, you get 21, which is 12 backwards. 7, 9 and 1 is 10. That's 7. Add 7 is 17, and add 4 is 21, which is 12 backwards. Now, Joseph Ray Davis's license plate was 2E-6217. 26, and if you just do the numbers, it's 26, which is 26. Then you get 21, which backwards is 12, and then you get the 7. So in there is if you move it around, you can get 26, you can get 17, you can get 12, you can get 12 again, you can get 26 again. Any way you look at it. And the cab number was number 5. That I'm not sure yet where that comes into play. I just have to look at the phone number of the cab company to find